So we are live. Grand Rising. It is definitely a grand rising. I'm definitely glad to be here. Sometimes when I do come up here, I don't know if I'd be truly meaning it or I'm just bullshitting sometimes. But then I look at what I'm going through that makes me be like, alright, confess, acknowledge. Welcome on in if you're new. Today's topic is about when you don't do what you're supposed to do, you're not in line. It's it's not assigned. Like, it's simple as that. It's common sense, but some people should get it and some people don't. Like, as myself, the things that I was going through, I needed terms, and I just knew the definition of what I was experiencing. And believe it or not, I'm spiritual in all forms, and I do believe in all information that's related to these topics today. And I do have work today. I worked yesterday, and I had a hell of like a week, past 2 weeks, and I'm coming to terms that I'm okay with pushing my stone now to like open my own tube, to open my own door instead of just waiting on somebody or waiting on a perfect moment of myself to be ready. It was never that. It was it was finding the keys to what you are experiencing, to know that if you was on the right path or not. And how you know that if you are on the right path and when you're off of it, your spirit will give you signs. Life will give you signs. Things will either be balanced or unbalanced. And for most people, they don't know common sense of how to balance themselves. They don't know how to take away what pain put onto it. And a lot of time, it's not our fault. I, I myself have a fair share of pain, neglect, being irritated by the world and of the world, and being irritated of spirit when you're in spirit. Like, and then also just being irritated, just being human, just being in existence. I get it. It can be a little exhausting. But once you like pass the four doors of the mind and you be determined of your action by faith and not by just sight. And because I see why I was listening to the Weekend Blinding Lights a lot. I was listening to it yesterday, and it was hitting me in a different spiritual level, where he kept saying I was blinded by the lights. For me, psychologically, like what I said was, I'm definitely blinded by the lights. Like, I believe more than what I see versus what I feel, and I was like, I'm I kind of need to switch it or balance both. And I couldn't understand like how to get to the center of myself, the center of my core, without everybody else's perspective of what I should be in their reality, who they look at me as in their reality. Because at the end of the day, the title don't go with you in the grave. When you're in the grave, you're just gone. It's your legacy, what you built on, that stood by you. That's an imprint. And this is what we are today as anybody who's just conscious, but not really spiritual. Like they understand the concept of having a higher consciousness, or believing in something within them, or believing in themselves, or in other cases it's believing God, believing in the universe, believing that something is walking with you through this alignment. And it's not just, well, it is just you getting to your salvation, yes. Salvation is a hard thing to kind of come by in reality. It's a nice word, it's a nice tone, it's a nice frequency, but how do anyone truly get to salvation? See, like, the more you open your mind, right, to God, to yourself, to a divine presence of yourself, it's still you, it's a reflection of you. You're gonna have some moments where you're afraid of it, you're scared of it, but then you're also excited to see like what this part of you can do for you, what it can teach you in this moment of time. It's this whole moment that we are existing in is a big present moment. You are the presence. When you are aware enough, there are, like, I can talk about the negative, like signs to look out for when it comes to not being in alignment. Like when you see when you start hanging out with wrong people, you might not see it at first when you meet these people. When you first met them, they didn't seem like they put on a mask or a disguise. You knew that they was either a demon or an angel, but you chose to be friends with them in this timeline that didn't operate with your timeline. So in that moment of time when you first met, it was like a door opening, a chapter, a new beginning, a new, oh, here's somebody new coming to paint a new narrator or a new scenario of you, and you as the traveler is going through these chapters that they created for you with these different characters. It's kind of like having in and out like body experience, like physically, emotionally, when you're not emotionally connected. But when you are emotionally connected with these people, it starts to feel aligned. Like when it's connected, positive, it has to feel good. It has to be in a place where you can feel your spirit and their spirit, and the other spirits following behind them. When you're in a room with them like that, when it's the opposite, when it's negative, when that means because either you are low vibrational, you didn't mean to get yourself low vibrational, because that person was low vibrational, because you was calculating their patterns of like why they're so moody, why their energy switch when you came around. So it's like you're analyzing everybody's behavior, including your own, and you realize you're sucked in some type of um, you can say like the akasha, like the analyze, because when you're in the akasha is also the format of the astral, the veil, what's behind the veil, what's behind the akasha, what's behind their thought of yours. It's a thought, but akasha is a memory. So anyway, so you realize how you're reading the room, how you reading yourself, how spirit is like engaging in itself. Like the more you're around this person, the more you're around these people, you pick up on visions like dreams, thoughts, and behaviors. You might mimic or echo something that they say either subconsciously to you out loud verbally, and it starts to echo in your mind, because that is a signal of like you picking up the waves, you picking up the vibration, you picking up a part of you that you might not had reflect yet, or have not completely just out like neglected. That's the only way I can put it. Because like if you go around saying everyone is a reflection of yourself, as a mirror of yourself, you're only gonna be in that first stage. It's easy to have somebody to copy a certain personality of you, but they cannot copy a light of you, because that light is from God. That person had to go to God with their own light or their own understanding of God. They they might preach about God all day long and want you to do the morals, but it's like a worm eating an apple, climbing its way out of the apple, or a reader just reading a bunch of books and don't know shit yet. Or maybe they do know shit, they don't have the right group of people to acknowledge this particular knowledge yet. So that's also with us. Like we gotta be so we gotta stop being so judgmental on ourselves, on our own journey, the people we meet, the things we do, how we move, and timing. Cause like if you didn't know then, you know now. If you like, it's always gonna be like that. It's okay. Lessons come first and knowledge, and after the hardship, it it becomes easier. Once you learn to let go of the psychologic of like not knowing better, not doing better. You don't need to be bitter. You just need to be better. And that's what Mike Pastor, like, I listen to him a lot. Like, that's why I've been kind of MIA. I've been listening to him. Some of the shit that he opened my eyes to, that I forgot about what was in the old church. I was like, okay, I'm still kind of seeing myself with them. Like, obviously, somebody keeps bringing me back to that particular group. Like, it gotta be my mom. Because I feel her energy, like, all over me, even when I'm not asking for it. And I know sometimes, like, I'm half praying and half fasting at the same time, like, for everybody. But then I started analyzing my own prayers and thoughts, like, what am I trying to manifest really for? And to really sit down with myself, just because I'm conscious, just because I'm aware, and I'm like, oh, I got the gift, let me use it. And let me be the look of the gift, because the gift should have a look. It should have a mascot. Like, I was operating like that for a bit until I had discernment. And I stopped living life by sight, but by faith. And believe me, it's not that hard to psychologically tell yourself to believe in something or do the opposite of something. Like, you know how much work I done on myself past 2 weeks. Like, I've been in extreme pain physically and emotionally to the point where I almost like damaged myself the other day. Like, not in a bad way, but it was just, I can feel the thoughts trying to creep in, and I'm like, nope, not today, Satan. And I'm talking about the other low vibration of me that wants to put me down when I only had one job, was to be the light bringer. And that's what I'm gonna do. And in order to do that, I had to light myself. That's how you get knowledge. Like, when you align yourself to open up to yourself for others, to be transparent. Your picture, your story, what you gone through, your life choices, your life decision is not always going to be pretty in somebody else's ear, pretty in somebody else's eyes. But at the end of the day, as long as you flip that triangle not into chaos, but into a full on trinity, you become unstoppable. And I'm kind of thankful for this version of me, because I was sick last week. I was ill. It wasn't like I didn't have a fever or anything. I knew what it was. It was me coming to my senses, and the only way for me to come to my senses if I get sick, if I just call out, not like call out, but like call out to God and get sick. And I realized, like, the thing is, listen. It's just to listen, not follow. Listen. Because somebody else's common sense might work for them, but they common sense might not work for you. Because they chose to go within, and they chose to go with God or the universe. And you have to do the same. The future is echoing right now. Like, when I'm in the quantum field and I see this shit, like, it's like I'm not in nobody else's reality at the moment because I kind of closed the door for a bit to only just travel in my future for right now. And then once I'm there, I'm able to. I'm doing it anyway, regardless, cause like it's like a race. Well, it's not like a race. It looks like that way, but it's so hard to put the visual in fact, like for you to see. That's why I've been trying to use AI to show you some parts of my vision that I am having. It's like I just wish what I know now I would have like known it last year or like a week ago. I was like, yo, if I would have known about renewing my voucher, that would have been like a very helpful information. Cause like I didn't have this problem before. This is just life update, shelter life update. My other housing specialist I had before her, people before her, they always had upgraded my voucher for me. And if I just figured out after just a year after it expired, yes. It didn't expire until after October. So I'm not full on late. I just didn't know. So I I called HRA, right? Well, I called 311 first a bunch of times to figure out how I'm supposed to do it. They gave me resource and housing information, which I got. And then they gave me, yeah, that was it. I think there was another one. But, yeah, all I had to do was call HRA through, just say, hey, can you, I'm calling for such and such. Can you renew my vouchers? And I uploaded my like tip stubs to HRA type shit. I did it last night so that it can be on time for the 13th for Monday. So I'm like, if I would have known, well, I would have done it myself. But the thing is, I didn't get this knowledge directly from anybody. Like Spirit did that, like, or God did that. Spirit, God and Spirit, like. I was just alright. Yeah, let me use my common sense. If I can call HRA for everything else, I'm pretty sure I can ask for a renewal form. So I was like, alright, let me pick up the phone and dial. It might have took them 2 days just to fucking pick up because I was antsy and impatient. I was getting ready to cuss everybody out until I stopped myself and breathed. Like I wasn't procrastinating or anything. It was just like nobody was helping me, and then I finally got the help. I helped my motherfucking self. So there's that. And then I know that after that, I gotta go through after my voucher upgrades. Um, just check in during the week and call them up. They gave me a referral number and everything. So, oh, not referral, but reference number. So yeah. And then after that, it's just off to doing the interview for the place. I already sent out the application. Once that's up and running, during the interview, I give them my voucher. They start the process, and I am in by the time I say that I am in. Like, I see it. It's almost there. Like, because I made a big, I made a big alignment, big improvement from when I was younger versus beginning in my 30s, going on 31 in May. Like, yo, man, at least I'm not lazy no more. I can admit that. Teenage me could never do half of the adult shit that I'm doing for myself today. And it's not just sitting in a room, waiting in a room, waiting for somebody. At least I don't get those visions anymore of waiting in a room. I'm actually elsewhere. Because only when I move in the flesh, spirit tends to move in spirit. And then the vision moves. It don't stay in one float because I'm comfortable of this is all that I see. I had to get fed up enough to be like, I'm over it. I want something new. I want this. I want that. But I learned to do it humbly, yes. But I know I said some fucked up shit to people around me to get them off my back. But at the end of the day, they was not aligned for me. They wasn't really my people. There was people in the vision that I was supposed to watch out for, not be friends with. The devil gets so good at learning my patterns, like to the point where I don't even see them no more. And you thinking like these people are for you, these people are your friends. You're like, no. The only thing I can do was drop a seed, help the seed grow, water it. And everybody around me kept feeling like I've met you before. You seem familiar. Especially when my hair was cut. Like that was a big awakening for them, I guess. It was like if I was like back from the dead or something, which I was. And technically, I kind of did die. So I'm alive. So yeah, it's crazy. I'm just not learning. It's okay. I'm not beating myself up. We just know not to move the way that we used to move, like that. Cause like so much time was wasted last year if I haven't had procrastinated. And I think at the age of 30, I can finally say I got over procrastination. About a week ago. Literally. About a week ago. I'm like, you want this? You want this life? Go get it. I'm literally making myself go fetch. Yeah. You do what you gotta do to wake up spirit, bro. Like, seriously. So now it doesn't feel like I don't know, like yesterday or the day before, like after the day that I stopped being sick, stopped having this weird illness, mm, my whole body got really light, like in a good way, not in a dizzy way. Like I think what I did to imagine myself feel lighter, I've imagined a flame going through my head. That was the only way I could have released the energy, released the emotion, released the vibration, everything, including the old timeline or like including old things that I wanted to manifest. I had to picture it being burnt because no matter what I did to like reprogram myself to gain back access to that timeline, it wasn't working out because I knew there was a version of me that was stronger and more wiser and needed to be somewhere more efficient, not just temporary. So yeah, we needed something temporary. Well, no, we didn't need something temporary. We needed something that's our foundation. And that's exactly what it was. We needed to be in a place where we're always constantly balancing ourselves. And we don't have to be in survival mode anymore. Like, I had to unlearn everything. I was like, oh shit. And I'm okay with it. But anyway, that is it. I'll come back later because I'm gonna just relax, get ready for work for later. I hope you guys have a great, productive day. Don't let nothing stress you. Don't let the old you stress you. Don't let these people stress you in places that don't align with you, stress you. Don't let the obstacles beat you. Let that be your enlightenment. And I pray that everybody gets through what they are going through. And I pray that you prosper and flourish. I pray that you have the house that you need and want. I pray that you have the people that love you unconditionally. And I pray that you love yourself unconditionally, full of love and light. And I am sorry to myself. I owe that to myself. I am so sorry. We can be a little stubborn. In due time. I'll catch you guys in the next update. Alright. Bye.